Hello once again, dear viewers, and welcome back to another Moonflower Tarot reading. And today I'm going to be channeling messages from Archangel Michael for cord cutting, ritual, intentions, healing for the collective. My intentions are to bring healing into your life, to bring reassurance, and any messages that want to come through from Archangel Michael as he is around you and everyone in this collective or anyone who wishes to respectfully ask for his guidance and reassurance. And even if you just clicked on this video needing a little bit of reassurance today, I am here to offer you some of that. And if you're tuning in for the first time, I want to welcome you, let you know that you're safe here and everything's going to be okay. You have a lot of high vibrational frequencies around you, aligning with you. At this point in time, the entire collective is going through a major shift. And it feels like there's a little bit of a crisis of faith happening as well with you here and anyone who has been feeling a little bit lost, alone, or grieving lately. So I just want to say thank you, first of all, for being here and everyone for supporting this channel, tuning in when you can. It does help me continue to deliver these messages of light and love. And I pray that this finds you at a time when you need it most. Archangel Michael seems to be guiding you at this point in time because I'm getting a big sense of grief surrounding you. And if my voice doesn't sound okay right now, as I was channeling Michael before I sat down, something actually came up for me as well. So a lot of times when I receive these messages, it's in part for the collective, but that I am also part of the collective. So it does, in all honesty, affect me too. So I did get the sense of grief, and overall, I feel like if you felt almost ashamed, like your life isn't going anywhere, or you're having a hard time, or if you've had to let go of someone or group of people recently, like, first of all, it's okay to grieve. And grieving takes as long as it takes to release it. Shaming yourself is pushing it down and bottling up, and it's not releasing that. And there might be some fears surrounding release. And it feels like there might be just some projection from others, even that is almost enabling a self-limiting belief or behavior, needing you to, or making you feel like you have to do this on your own, which you don't, or shaming you for feeling like you can't release it or you can't release it on your own. And for the most part, I'm feeling like some of you need to just cry, just cry it out, or just feel anger, or just, even feel fear and acknowledge it. Do it in a constructive way, which is to say, not judging your emotions, just letting them flow without even second guessing it, doing it in a way you feel the most safe. It's just this nature of release, because Archangel Michael is cutting cords and releasing a lot of things for you. But there's this thing when it comes to our free will. Like, we have to ask angels permissions to intervene. We can ask Michael to cut cords, but in a lot of ways, we do have to do some work. Like, we can't do it for him. When he comes in and does release a lot of blockages in our life, including people, if we then go on to hold on to the emotions or the people themselves, we're not letting them go completely. In a sense, it's almost like Archangel Michael comes in, cuts a cord, and then you reach on to it like, oh no, but I actually need that. And he's like, wait a minute, I actually cut that from you. You don't need it. But there's this sense of ego and a wound that might be rising to the surface that needs to be acknowledged and released and purged, which might come in the form of grieving something, because acknowledging something has to be let go. Acknowledging the pain and hurt means you are going to have to go through a grieving cycle, and it means crying. It means getting a little bit upset. It means having to talk it out with someone you trust. And if you've had someone betray you recently, first of all, I want to say I'm very sorry, and I pray for a lot of love and reassurance from the universe to enter into your life, but there is this sense of our free will can kind of get in our way when cords are being released. So it isn't enough that you ask the angels to release them for you. You do have to actually put in the work to do a little bit of a check in and look at whatever internal mechanisms were keeping you stuck in those relationships in the first place, or if there's any grief, acknowledge that you love them and you were hurt by a person. If this is a situation with another person, acknowledge that the reason you're hurt is because you love them, even if it's just to yourself, not necessarily saying that to their face, forgiving them and moving on. But the first step to releasing this once and for all is to acknowledge that you have to release them, and that includes the emotions behind them. So there's a need to almost do this a little bit more alone lately. And that might be something you've been told to do by your spirit guides and Archangel Michael. Because what I'm just going to say, first of all, you're not completely alone. There's always going to be people out there in ways the universe helps you and drops it into your lap. Even when it comes to like either losing or relieving some sort of a blockage from your life, there are circumstances, people, events, what have you, that come in that force you to almost reassess and look at yourself in the situation. So if you've been making some progress when it comes to healing and you find yourself backtracking for a moment, that's not you falling backwards into old habits. That's something that you would have experienced from the past coming back up to make sure that you choose a decision that's more aligned with the version of you you are becoming. And for some of you, this is a matter of sometimes, okay, so I'm getting this feeling that there might be some over dramatization, because I heard this is a feeling or a moment of life and death. And I think for some of you, I'm getting more so that it's this feeling of grief. Now, if any of you are having problems that deeply, absolutely, I highly suggest asking for help. You need to. But there might be this sense of almost diving too deep into the drama or the flames, as it were. Like, don't throw yourself into the flames if you're burning away old parts of you. You need to let it happen one at a time. But let me just say, there is a point where there's this almost misconception that you're over dramatizing your pain, and that might be what's keeping you from feeling it. But then on the other side, you might have known people who were like making mountains out of molehills, and they perceived or tried to project this idea of your literal mountains were just merely molehills, where their molehills became mountains. And that might be a self-limiting belief or a misconception even within you that you need to release right now. So in order for this self-healing process, Archangel Michael, to help heal this from you, you do have to make the willing, conscious decision to go through the process of release. And relieving yourself from the pain means to just process it and the emotions and acknowledge the real reason why you are hurting, which is not easy to do. And let me tell you, it's not. And I have gotten into those cycles with people who would literally have like the most minor inconvenience thing happen in their lives, and they would complain to no end. And I would have something extremely, very horrible happen. And let's compare it to them stubbing their toe on the sidewalk and me tripping and falling over on the sidewalk and hurting myself. I'm spraining my ankle. And they would immediately eliminate my need for help to get up, minimize my pain. They would rather do that than to acknowledge it, because they're so focused on their stubbed toe. They have no capacity within themselves to acknowledge any pain outside of themselves. And now you could take that as a literal meaning. Some of you might have actually had situations similar where if there was forgive me, if there was an injury and they minimized your pain and said, oh, you're going over the top, because that's a projection. Let me just tell you, that's a projection. In a way, you react the way you react because it's just how your mind, body, and soul processes pain. And anybody's projection that you are overreacting is incredibly false and most likely kind of a projection, because imagine in their own minds, they think that of themselves. They're going to convince that of you because they're stuck in their pain. So that's why it's important to cut cords from people, even if you might have known and loved them and given a lot of light to them, and acknowledge that it was hurtful. But don't say that to them, because most likely they're going to be so stuck in their own pain and their own stubbed toe, they will refuse to hear you. And that's going to just keep you further stuck. So tap into Archangel Michael and ask what is the best decision to make in this circumstance, because he kind of knows your circumstances better than I do, and you know yourself better than I do. And I might be blocked from really channeling into a lot of that, but I just get the sense of grief, remorse, regret. And I have an entire list of songs that I will link in the description below if that does help you release, because I received a whole bunch of them, and they were from the band Coldplay, interestingly enough. So some of you here might actually really like that band. And growing up, I heard that a lot of their music. And like I sat down and I listened to one of their songs, and I just, right before this reading too, because I got a whole bunch of songs and I like to write them down before I even start recording. When I tune into these angels, I want to make sure I get everything for everyone. I just started bawling my eyes out. I started crying. I'm still kind of like I was able to take a step back and, reset myself. But yeah, Angel Michael came in and he was like, yeah. And I had to dig in deep and be like, I'm crying for some reason for this specific song. And I just started the moment the song started. And if some of you are feeling a certain way, if you start crying because of a song, definitely I would encourage you just to sit with yourself and talk to Angel Michael and ask, what is it in me that's causing me to feel this pain? Or just let the tears flow, because I literally did that. And I'm like, oh, thank God. I felt like this need to release, and I just let it happen. So I also want to give a list of signs and synchronicities that archangels around you, or any, I guess, things to put on your altar if that's how you wish to interact with them or the angels. But the signs associated with this collective with Archangel Michael are blue flashes, like aura flashes, flashes of light, or if you see the color like neon blue specifically, if you see that around you, if it's auras, if it's just random lights you see, like string lights, you randomly catch it in the corner of your eye. 4-leaf clovers, actually, if you're tapping into him and you want to cut cords, 4-leaf clovers are significant for you and a sign that he's around you. And I know these are a little bit off the beaten path of what his signs are as far as angel signs, but he's wanting you to know that there's a specific frequency he's trying to get you tuned into, and it has to do with a lot of your return to faith, love, and abundance, and returning your light to you. So 4-leaf clovers, seeing a lot of green grass or just the color green associated with spring colors. If you see, or if it catches your eye in a weird way, that's his energy speaking to you through those I guess I would say mediums, tools, because I like to use nature and the world around me as a divination tool. Let's just be honest. It's like anything can be a message. It's just about tuning in with the frequencies that allow those messages to come in. And for the time being, as long as you wish to work with him to release certain chords, these are going to be the associations. And I feel like I need to say that because some of you might be tuning into a lot more high-level channelers, or creating a sacred space within yourself, your home. As I'm getting the feeling some of you are either aligning or ascending with people who are, I guess, high vibrational spiritual mediums, or you want to become one. I'm getting a lot of messages. Some of you are releasing or cutting cords from people who gave you an assigned role at birth, which might not necessarily be unique to you, but it's something that you're freeing yourself from. Some other messages or signs that Archangel Michael's around you and protecting you. Doves. I saw specifically a mourning dove, if you know what those are. I saw a white dove, gray doves. Doves in general seem to be signs from angels and messengers of peace and new beginnings. White lights also. If you see a specific, the way that Michael sometimes communicates with me is flickering a fluorescent light, as if the light bulb's going out, but it doesn't. So lights flickering, candles actually flickering rapidly, black smoke coming from a white candle, or lighting blue candles for your altar might be good too. Or even if you are Christian or Catholic and you still go to church, or if you have I don't know what I'm seeing some sort of shrine or sanctuary. If you light candles for any particular person, I'm also seeing Mother Mary. If you have a candle like that, or if you go to some sort of temple, or I'm hearing also synagogue, which if you have any uh, rituals or practices in which candle lighting, offerings, altars are involved, where you can directly communicate with God, the angels, the divine. I'm hearing connecting with those practices. I'm also hearing romanticizing, like romantic practices. What does that mean, God? I'm actually seeing a pink candle. Okay, so this is specifically, I'm feeling like a more like divinely guided kind of Christian mystic pile. Some of you might actually be practitioners of magic or do spiritual work or spell work, because that the idea of love magic came through. But there's a sense of like almost, how do I want to say this? Okay, just gonna say it. Kneeling at an altar at your shrine, making your space a holy space, and committing to yourself and your higher self and your holiness, while also incorporating the ascended masters into your sacred space. Because if you truly want to ascend and be a high vibrational spiritual being, you have to acknowledge the holiness within you and surrender to the one most high, who has given you that right to access holiness. We all have that light inside each of us. I think as in our society, humans have kind of received and given roles out to people, and no one can be greater or as equal as God, when the truth is we have a piece of his light in us, and we all can commit to becoming the most pure aligned version of ourselves for all eternity, whenever we choose to, whenever we want to. And the truth is that you deserve to have that space within yourself to sit down and pray at your own altar what you love most in this world, and light a candle for yourself. And even if you go into a temple, a holy space, because I'm also hearing synagogue, and maybe like I'm hearing what is that? It's Jewish mysticism as well. It's just almost inciting this part of yourself that has been locked away and kept hidden because it's deemed sacrilege, or like heresy. Because you got to remember also that Jesus was considered a heretic. So remember, when you are going into a temple space and saying, clearing out people or clearing out aspects of yourself that are remaining hidden for now but need to be released, you have to say, what are you doing in this place? You are not welcome here. And allow that righteous anger to return back the light you deserve. But asking help from the angels and the divine is key to letting that most holy of light flow through you, so you can embody that, so you can teach others how to embody that, so we can unify as one in spirit and the divine as individuals. By the way, we are all individuals experiencing this throughout our lives. So that's a lot of what's coming through right now. And again, getting back to the whole playlist I had earlier, a lot of it's about releasing. And some of you might need to listen to music and cry and feel hope again. And I pray you take this message in the best way possible, as you will, and as you do, to go out there into the world and bring light and magic and joy back, and receive the abundance from the universe, and allow these angels or these holy mechanisms of divine faith to align you with what is truly meant for you, because these are not evil entities. These are benevolent beings that wish to match you with the undying love of the universe. So let me get some final messages before I let you go. So there's this need to give yourself a chance to move on into the world, to align with the higher version of yourself, and light that candle. Light that candle for you. I'm hearing candle. Yeah. So there's this lighting a candle of peace for you. That's, I think, the candle of peace, at least in the Advent calendar, is a pink candle, I think. Or, okay, there's a okay, so if any of you know the Christian faith or the calendar year, the Advent season, we light candles for, I believe, each Sunday leading up to, what is it called? Christmas. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So there's this need to light a candle of peace in your heart and let it shine. And don't listen to what other people say about how you practice your faith. You might have to practice it in like secret and in safety and security, and with people you can trust. Because sometimes when we see the darkness of the world arise, the darkness within others, we have to kind of shine that light silently, even in the presence. Well, we want to shine it, worship silently, I'm hearing, for now. You still shine that light. You still be a beacon of light and hope. You don't hide away or hide your voice. But when you're releasing chords, the best thing right now to align with yourself is to take a step back and be almost in that hermit mode, so you can get a new perspective on what it is to be you, your highest light and your highest good. And it means listening to your own inner strength and guidance, listening to the ascended masters, and tapping into the side of your soul that is connected to source. And sometimes we have to use what this world might deem as magic, because lighting a candle at an altar in a church or a synagogue is magic. In a sense, it's a way to divine, it's a form of divination, basically. And don't let anyone around you convince you otherwise, because we are all working together, collaborating in the higher realms to bring light and love into this world. And you are a being of unlimited potential and unlimited light, and you deserve to shine that and to help others. And if you're aligning with a path with the most high and sacred force in all of creation, you are always supported. And I just want to say, I give my love to you. I send my prayers to you and give my support to you. You will be successful in walking away. And I pray Archangel Michael watches over you. uh, Archangel Michael watches over you. And with that, dear viewers, I want to thank you once again for joining me. I hope this helped you on your journey. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you again in another reading. God bless.